All right, all right, all right, all right. It looks like we are live. What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who it is. Yours truly, Dr. Mike, back again, once again, with another classic live stream for you guys today. Not sure how many people are gonna come join me today, but I'm just glad that I'm able to get these thoughts out and put them out there for the audience to view at their own particular moment in time. So again, as the sun sets on my birthday, aka my beer day, whatever you want to call it. As you know, a new day arises. I definitely wanted to come to you guys with some real shit before I go ahead and take that nap that is long overdue, man. It's been a hell of a good day, man. The birthday was great. I was happy to come on with you guys earlier this morning, have a conversation with you guys, and spend some time with you during the live stream then. But today we're gonna talk about some more real shit. And I didn't get a chance to like put a 30-minute time cap on here so that you guys had a chance to come in. I just wanted to go ahead and go live with it because I didn't know if too many people were going to join me or not. All right. Official time check. We're looking at about 12:48 in the P in the A early AM. Yeah, and then it's about almost 12 noon or 11 something in the East Coast. Time checks. You already know where you guys are in the world today. All right. So again, as the sun sets on a beautiful day, that was my birthday, man. I'm glad that I'm able to join you guys, but definitely got to hit you with some real shit. It's officially over, guys. I'm officially done with Filipinas. Officially done with Filipinas. So they tell me. The other night, I was having a conversation. I mean, just tonight, I'm sorry, having a conversation with one of my homeboys, somebody that I knew back when I was here. The conversation was good. Everything was great. And he was like, "So where you at?" I said, "Yeah, I'm still in the Philippines." He was like, "Oh, you still there?" I said, "Yeah." The fuck? What you mean I'm still here, right? And he was like, "Man, I don't fuck with him no more." Then my man commences to telling me a very interesting story. Now, I have told this story before, or a story similar to it, but I'm gonna give it to you guys in the particular light in which we can all understand. Now, this man has been married to his Filipina for as long as I have been dating my girl. Again, he's been married to his Filipina for as long as I've been dating my girl. So he probably knew her 2 years before that. So I guess a total of close to a decade, I guess, or something to that effect. So he was telling me a story and he was like, "Yeah, man, everything was good. I brought my Filipina to the United States. Everything was perfect." And all of a sudden, something changed when he decided to take a job that had him working overseas, right? So he was in the Philippines with me, met this girl, ended up bringing this girl to, and then they lived there for quite a long time together. Then he took a job working overseas. I told this story, so you guys may be familiar with this one. He took a job overseas, and then when he took that job overseas, his girl had two options. She could stay in the US or she could go back to the Philippines. And of course, me being who I am, because she couldn't join him at the time, that's the reason why they had to make that choice. She couldn't go with him at the time. So, me being who I am, I would have made the exact same decision as he did, which is, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go back home. It'll be cheaper for me to take care of you there. You have your family. You'll be surrounded by people that I know and people that you know, and you're not gonna be in the United States by yourself, just relying on friends that we may know. Okay, so he decided that he's gonna go work over in he was gonna work overseas for a year, and his wife was gonna go home. All of a sudden, things took a turn for the worse right then and there. Took a turn for the worse. The texting limited, calling, talking very limited. And I'm trying to figure out, what ended up happening between them. His lady wasn't having a conversation with him very much. How you would used to talk to your lady for roughly about, if you call your girl every day, you call her every day. Maybe he was talking to her maybe twice a week at most, and that's 7 days in a week. And then after that, it ended up being once every 2 weeks or something. And of course he was busy and everything like that, so he wasn't able to call as much. But text messages and stuff like that were limited at best. They just were not talking anymore. Lo and behold, the truth comes out through a friend of a friend that wifey's just up and missing. Basically couldn't find her on Facebook anymore, couldn't contact her through Viber, WhatsApp, anything. He could not have any conversation with her, and he don't know what happened. So when things go like that, the first thing you're thinking about is, man, I need to get my accounts in order. I got to get my money together. Right now, this is the funny part. This is the funny part. I want y'all to hear this. So we were having a conversation and they were like, yo, man, is there any account that is in your name that is in both of your names, right? That was the question. Because we asked him, we were like, are there joint accounts in your name? Like, do you guys have bank accounts in your names and shit like that? And he was like, yes. We said, bruh, you need to close those accounts immediately. If you're not hearing from your girl, something's wrong. You need to close those accounts immediately. Let me tell you exactly what happened. The minute he closed those accounts, the day after, that's when his girl decided to talk to him. She's like, oh, I was trying to get some money out of the account, but it says that my card doesn't work, right? And that's how she talked to him. She was like, yeah, I tried to get some money out the account and it said my card wasn't working. So I was like, oh shit, right? That's the only time you choose to call me. The only time you choose to call me is when you can't get access to cash anymore. So he said, I ain't heard from you in like a couple of weeks and shit. Like, what's good? What's going on with you? She's like, I've been busy, this, that, and the other, like, blah, blah, blah. Again, this is his wife. This isn't just his girlfriend. This is his wife, well, I don't know what his wife, Asawa, some shit like that in Filipino. That's his, whatever it may be. So then one thing led to another, and then they ended up getting into an argument over something mediocre, something very, very small. And then she hung up the phone and he never heard from her again. Now, you got to realize he's married. So this isn't just no breakup, clean break. Thank God they didn't have kids together. But this ain't no clean break because, they got money together and, she's a U.S. citizen and all that shit just now, all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? Her attitude changed after she got her goddamn passport. Everything started to go a little shifty, right? So he ended up filing for divorce. And I tell you this right now, for all of my brothers out there that have ever had divorce, I understand where you're coming from because I was personally around when the divorce was going down. I was there from step 1, step 2, and step 3. Okay, from beginning to end. And I realized just how fucked up the system is when it comes to divorce for a man. Okay, it's the only time I ever realized this shit, how bad it was. That's why if I get married, that woman gonna be stuck with me to the day she die. And I love her to death. I'll always treat my girl right. That's not a problem. But he was trying to get divorced, but he couldn't get in touch with her. He didn't know where to serve her papers. He didn't know how to do this, that, and the other. So what he had to do was he had to put an ad in the fucking newspaper. Put an ad in the newspaper to, I don't even know what the ad was all about, but he had to put an ad in the newspaper for a certain amount of time to show adequate information that she was aware or notified in one way or another that this was going to happen. Like it was like a call to action going towards this girl's name and shit in the newspaper. And all of this shit was going down, and all of the money he had to pay the lawyers and all of that shit is the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. And I promise you this, any man that has ever been through divorce, I am so sorry. Okay, I've never been through it personally, but seeing my best friend go through some shit like this made me hurt inside. It took a part of me because he don't know what was going on money wise. He could care less because when you're you can make money with your wife or whatever. So that's not the problem. It's not the money. It's just the hurt and everything that comes with it. Bitch just disappeared. Until this day, he's never heard from her. So when we were on the phone the other night and we were talking about my birthday, he said, yeah, man, happy birthday, my nigga, and everything like that. He was talking to me and shit. Then he was like, yeah, so you still in the Philippines? And I was like, yeah, man. And he said straight up, I promise you this, guys, no bullshit. This is exactly his words verbatim. He said, are you still fucking with them bitches? And I was like, what the fuck? I said, what? Like, what? Say that again. He was like, oh, you still in the Philippines fucking with them bitches, right? And I was like, damn, man, you're kind of cruel, right? I was like, yo, you don't have to come at it like that. But then again, being with him during that particular process and being with him as this was going down, it made me further realize why he had this animosity towards them. If I break up with my girlfriend tomorrow, I'll get over it because she was just a girlfriend. There was only time invested, maybe a little bit of money, but I could take the L on that. But once you decide to marry somebody and once you decide to commit to somebody long term, And then all of a sudden, this long-term thing turns to shit, all because of who knows, whether it's the family influence, regardless, whether she got another dude on the side, like I see you guys talking about in the chat. It doesn't matter how it goes down. All you know is that the shit ended. You feel me? All you know is that from this point on, it is officially over. All right. So when he was on the phone with me, he's like, man, I can't fuck with them girls ever again. It's officially over for him. He said he was done with Filipinas. And he was not ever, 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 ever going to date another Filipina again. He swore them motherfuckers off. This ain't no MGTOW shit. This is a man that has says, you know what? I will never date another Filipina for as long as I live. And he said, I will never visit the Philippines unless I'm coming to visit you. And that's it. And when I stay, I ain't gonna really do anything. I'm just gonna kick it with you. And then I'm going back to my business. And I'm like, damn, this guy has really past the point of no return. My man, since then, he's dated Korean women, he's dated Japanese women, he's dated women from all over Southeast Asia, but he absolutely refuses to date Filipinas ever again. And I'm like, man, I said, I've never known a man to get to that point. I've heard of stories, but to see it play out firsthand next to me and to see it play out, and I'm actually not a part of it, but I'm on the outside looking in, but I'm part of the situation from point in and point out. My man said straight up to the day he dies, he said, I will never fuck with another Filipino for as long as I live. I'm like, damn, man. And again, because I was a part of it, I understand the hurt and the pain that he was going through. You know what I'm saying? My man took care of his girl. Now again, I'm not 100% in the relationship. I'm not 100% in it. I don't know every intricate aspect of their relationship. That's not me. I'm not going to pry or prod or ask questions and shit like that. But my man took care of her. He bought her stuff. He did normally what a husband would do for a wife, and that's pretty much how it went down. And then for all that shit to fall apart the way that it did, it wants to fall apart when you guys are apart. It didn't fall apart when you guys are together. It fell apart when you guys were apart. And that's the type of shit that probably would hurt a man the worst. That would probably cut a man deep to his motherfucking core. There was never any proof, guys, that she cheated. There was never proof. Nobody could ever confirm or deny that she may have had another dude on the side, right? Nobody ever knew that information. But I'm telling you right now, as a man, as I breathe right now, watching that situation, what he went through, if I went through the exact same thing, I would probably say the exact same thing that he said. Man, fuck these girls. I'll never date them again. They did this, even if it's just one chick. Again, you should never judge one woman. But I feel like if you put in time with one chick, knowing you could have had all these other girls, but you decided to commit yourself to one young lady, take care of her, take her where you are, build a life with her. Thank God there were no kids involved, but you want to build a life with this young lady. And then all of a sudden she want to shit on you, or she wants to break off everything that you guys have built together while you're apart. I kind of feel like that's some shady shit, And she was basically to the point where they have been together long enough to where she may be entitled to some things of his. She was very close, but her not responding to the ads or whatnot, doing all of that stuff that they tried to get in contact with her for her not to respond to it, basically made it easier for the divorce. The only thing that cost him was the money that had to be sent to the lawyer. And you know how these fucking lawyers are when it comes to divorces, man. They try to make bank off of you. It seems like the process is so fucking slow. Everybody's dragging their feet. Nobody's doing things like they're supposed to. And it just becomes such a pain in the ass. And again, if it was that much hurt, heartache, and pain that went through the divorce process with this Filipina, I can almost guarantee you this. I would probably feel the exact same way. I would say it's fucking over. I'm officially done with Filipinas for the rest of my life. I'll date Japanese, I'll date Korean, Vietnamese, Cambodian, Thai, any Southeast Asian girl, fucking any girl I can ever date, but I will date every girl around the Philippines. I will never date a Filipina, right? So again, guys, I just want to get that story out, man. My brother was going through some shit right there. My brother in arms, man. He was going through it. So, it's just one of those things that, when you hear the situation and you hear it happening and you see it going down the way that it does, that shit right there hurt a man's feelings. And I was hurt to go through it with them. So, that's just some real shit that I just want to speak to you guys for a moment. I have no idea what I'm going to question you guys on or what I want you to respond to, but you can just respond to the story. You can tell me, how would you feel if you married a Filipina? and everything just turned to shit after that, would you be willing to swear them off for the rest of your life? Again, we're not Filipina bashing. I'm just telling you my man's story and exactly how it went down and exactly how he responded to the situation. He said, my man's, I ain't fucking around with that shit no more. But let me go ahead and get my shout outs, man. My man Bruce was first in the building. What's going on with your family? Appreciate you showing some love. This is an ill-timed live stream, guys. I just wanted to come on and show some love to my people and talk some shit. My man Rahid, what's going on with your family? It is 12:44 in the a.m. already the next day, so my birthday is officially over. But again, as it dawns on a new day for yours truly, had to go ahead and get this one out because we just had this conversation probably about, I would say, probably about 3 or 4 hours ago. So, I'm going to go ahead and get it out before I go to bed, man. But that's nice to see you in the building. My man, Get Lost Vlogs, Team Scorpio in the building. What's going on, man? You know what's good. My birthday was the 17th yesterday. My man, Carlito Santiago. What's going on, man? Shout my man out. I think you're in the DR, right? Much love to you, brother. The topic is about guys basically getting screwed over by Filipinas and swearing them off for the rest of their life. My man, Mr. Wonderful, what's good with your family? Appreciate you coming through. Where the thick Filipinas at? Probably right next door to where I'm staying at right now, man. If I could show you, I would, but I can't. I ain't trying to get in trouble, but they probably right next door, family. They're all over this complex. Get Lost. She probably did have a side dude, highly likely, but we can't confirm or deny, but it was high probability, and it was probably a Filipino dude too. That's what makes it worse, man. Let me ask you guys an honest question, really, really honest question, and this may not make any difference to you guys, but if your girl was ever going to cheat, okay, which would hurt worse? If she cheated on you with a Filipino guy, or if she cheated on you with another American guy? Answer the question and tell me why. If your girl was ever going to cheat, which would hurt worse? I mean, of course it would hurt that she cheat, period. You probably swear that chick off and say, fuck you. Got that. But if she was going to cheat and you found out that she did cheat it, which would hurt worse? If you found out she cheated on you with a Filipino guy, a local guy, or if she cheated on you with another foreigner? I want to hear that answers. My man Rahid says they're just social climbers. There are a very, very large collective of Filipinos that are social climbers. That is for sure, brother. That I do agree with. There is quite a few of them. I won't say all, but I will say there are quite a few that social climb, for sure. Everybody's looking for a come up. That could highly be probable. And seeing the situation that my man went through, how it all went down, and when it all went down, kind of clarifies that. She wants to have this, she wants to start catching these different types of attitudes and feelings after she got that passport. You know what I mean? That little shifty for me too, so definitely something that you guys need to think about when it comes to dating your girls. Everybody seem to have a different vibe and a whole different way of going about life once they get what I feel like they need. You could necessarily constitute this as a long con game. She stayed around for years, brother, not just months and seeing what she can get within the meantime, but it was years, guys. I mean, years, like a long time, probably about the age of a third grader, as long as they were together. So, you do the math on that. My man, Eddie Goodman. What's going on, family? Shouting out my man. I know Mr. AC King. I see you in the building. Tim H. What's going on, family? Appreciate you coming through. He did dodge a bullet, though. Get Lost. I do agree. Because I'm telling you, if she was with him long enough, she would have been entitled to that pension and retirement and all that shit. Y'all know how that thing go in the U.S., man. Ain't nothing to fuck with, man. Ain't nothing to fuck with. Eddie, I see your comment, man. They say long distance relationships don't work. It's hard, bro. It truly is. I do agree it's hard. But I mean, I was away from my girl for a year and a half and everything was still relatively okay. It wasn't easy. And I'm not saying that my relationship is the mold for every relationship. Trust me. One thing my man always tells me is, when you just dating somebody like recently, had me and my girl not been together for as long as we were before I actually came back to the US the first time, I don't know if I would still be in a relationship with her. But we kind of made it through. We muddled through it. So that's the types of things that we got to go through as men. We are the ones that make this decision in our lives. Okay, we are the ones that normally choose to settle down. This is our choice as men. Don't get forced into it because you feel like you're obligated to, because that's your woman. You should want to do it because you want to do it. Never do it because you feel like you're obligated to do that. That's what I want to tell my guys. Whenever you're in a relationship, guys, don't ever feel as if you are forced to get into, like, forced to marry any girl, because you're not. You should want to marry your girl because you love your girl. And if you don't really love her like that, then hey, continue dating, I guess. You got to put yourself in a position to protect yourself. And again, he did dodge a bullet, bro. He did, because if she was entitled to my man's money, oh, it would have been a wrap. I think he might have done something that was really something he can't take back. I feel like he was that close. Raheed, they are very clever, man, and patient. They are very patient. If they switch up on you, that's the craziest shit you'll ever go through. My man Tommy, what's going on with your family? Showing love all the way from the great state of North Carolina. Appreciate you coming through and showing some love. My man Carlito said, how long was he with her before they got married? 2 years. Before the marriage, it was 2 years. Or he knew her for a year and a half to 2 years before marriage, and then they got married. My man Andy, what's going on, man? Huh. And shout out to Blasian P&I. She's also celebrating her birthday November 17th as well. So that's like my sister now. We're like separated at birth and shit like that. But yeah, man, I showed her some love on the channel too. Much love to my sister, Blasian P&I. She's having a live show, I believe, right now as well. If you guys want to go over there and say happy birthday to her, please feel free. Eddie says, when you live in the Philippines, it means it's a man's world. Stay out of the U.S. with your Filipino. U.S. laws are against the man. Always have and always will be. Oh, Raheed, the boy is cold. That man cold. Because as soon as we talked on the phone and I told him I was still in the Philippines kicking it, he's like, oh, you still fucking with them girls and shit? I was like, man, you are fucking going off, man. But I'm not mad at him for how he feels. I promise you, if I went through the exact same situation, I could almost tell you I'd probably feel the exact same way, which lets me further explain that a guy's experience with the Filipina will definitely shape how they are in the future, how they feel in relation to Filipinas. If the relationship was as hard as the one that my man went through, you would probably never want to see the Philippines or Filipinas ever again. If it was something that you could just get over and you want to dust your shoulders off and get back in the game and try dating another one, that there are guys who do that as well. But I'm just saying though, with him, he ain't ready for that. He ain't none of that. None of that. He ain't got it in him, and he ain't never going back. My man Fed Up, what's going on with you, man? Appreciate you coming through. My man's a mix of FedEx and UPS. We're gonna call him Fed Up. What's going on with you, brother? Eddie said child support and alimony will take you to the cleaners. Exactly, which is why he was not with her long enough for her to collect alimony. One, and they don't have kids together. And I think my man dodged a hell of a bullet with that one, man. Forget the alimony, man. Child support to eat your ass up for at least 18 years, mandatory. Feel me? At least with alimony, if she does get married again, chances are you could cut that shit. But that is how she chooses to live that life, whether she chooses to get married again or not. But I'm telling you, man, I felt bad for my brother, man. And I feel for all of my guys who have had bad experiences. I wonder if my man Rob is here, my man Rob 100. He told me a story also. I know my man Raheed, he's got his own stories with Filipinas too. And I know that, a lot of bad things happen, guys. I get it. I understand. But, you will never know what your reaction will be until it happens to you. Because I do. I've been in a very good relationship. I would like to consider my relationship to be successful. I do consider myself to be a very lucky man to have dated the women that I have in the Philippines and to be with the one that I'm with now. I'm very, very blessed in life because I haven't had anything dramatic happen. But, huge but, should something dramatically happen down the line, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that I'm not going to feel the exact same way as the other brothers who have had bad experiences, But I'm just being real with y'all because, I don't want people to think that I have the bias. Some people like to call me out on that. But like I said, my bias is only for Davao City and Davao City only, not when it comes to the Philippines. You guys know from my first video, I told you I will give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I thought that in fairness, I've tried my best to remain even keel along the border. Sometimes you may call me out on some bullshit, but hey, man, I figured that I would be as even kill with you guys as humanly possible, okay? My man Terry Edwards, what's good with your family? Appreciate you coming through. My man Michael Smith says, man, that's rough, Mike. I understand that, but that is rough, not in to say. Yo, yeah, man, I felt bad for him. I've never felt heartbroken for another person in my whole entire life until I saw this situation unfold the way that it did. Because when somebody that's close to you hurts because they're going through something and you can't help it, what can you do? You know what I'm saying? If you're the friend with a friend going through a problem like this, What can you tell them, man? It's gonna get better? Fuck no. You think they're gonna believe that shit in the moment? Come on, man. That man was going through it. He never cried or anything, but my man had his moments, man, where he wanted to like choke some people out because he more of the type to react violently if he's got to. But thank God he remained even killed. But I'm telling you, man, he was like, it's officially over. He's officially done with Filipinas for the rest of his life. I promise you, if he comes to the Philippines, it will not be for very long. It'll only be to come through and say what's up. But other than that, he'll never come. More than likely, he'll say, man, you come to me, I won't come to you. I really do believe that. I don't think he'll ever come to the Philippines again. He'll never set foot in the Philippines again. That's the crazy part. He not only swore off the women, he swore off the country. That's what it feels like. I'm like, damn, man, that's my dude. But like I said, you're looking at two ends of the spectrum. Currently, my relationship is going fine, and his just kind of took a turn for the worse, and it didn't quite go the way that I hoped that it would for him. But hey, man, we all have to take our bumps and bruises and experiences and help mold us into better men. True, but sometimes it's better to just wear them off, and that's exactly what my brother did, man. That is exactly what my dude did. Eddie Goodman said he's just picked the girl. Yeah, it could have been a bad girl, sad to say, but normally you can scope out and figure out a bad girl from a good girl. Normally you can in the beginning. And it's kind of weird though. Now that I see, because I mean I knew about I knew about this young lady and stuff like that. She wasn't like this. It could have been some American influence. It could have been something that happened while she was in the United States. We talk about that as well. Maybe it wasn't in her before she left, but maybe spending a significant amount of time in the US changed her, because we do talk about that as well. And we do say that, Americanized Filipinas, their ability to adapt and be resourceful and shit like that, adapting to the culture could have fucked up some things. I don't know, man. It could have been any number of things. But yes, overall, you can honestly say it wasn't a good pick. But it's not his fault, man. I mean, somebody for a couple of years, things seem to be working out. You stay married for a significant amount of time. Then all of a sudden shit turns to shit when you separate, or when not even separate, when he goes to work overseas and she goes back home. That's when the problems happen. I don't like that shit. You couldn't just do it while we were together, right? You had to show your ass after we separated some shit. It's crazy, man. Black Pablo says, I feel dude, but I don't think I'd cut out a whole group of women because of one incident. Yeah, I mean it's hard for me to say, but I honestly feel I feel like most of us as men, I'm telling you, if we went through the exact same situation that he went through, I can almost guarantee you that probably if 10 men, I'm going to say right now, if 10 of us in the chat right now went through the exact same situation, I can almost guarantee that 50% or more would probably swear off dealing with Filipino women for the rest of our lives. I do. Or I wouldn't say the rest of our lives, before a long ass time. But if you think about that pain and hurt that was caused through the whole divorce process and all of that shit, it would probably be a higher percent. I would think 70% wouldn't even remotely look at Filipino women ever again. So, we all got to be realistic in our assessment of relationships and shit. But I want us to understand that as men, when we go through situations and experiences in life that hurt us like this, hurt us to the core, and you were nothing but, responsive to your lady, you gave her things, you did nice things for her, and she kind of returns the favor by like basically spitting in your face and shit with this type of shit. I'm telling you, I don't know. I would be crushed, bruh. I would be crushed. My heart would be broken. Number one, I'm not afraid to express my feelings. If I'm angry or I'm mad about something, I have no problem doing it. I don't cry because I ain't no bitch. But, I'm telling you, if the same situation happened to me, I couldn't tell you that I would be okay dating a Filipina again. Like I said, I'm lucky because my relationships past and current have been okay. They've been good. Whether they fell apart or not, I understand why it fell apart. There was no you know There was nothing that wasn't clarified. But you got to understand, with this particular situation, the relationship was left on the table with no fucking clarification. And as a man, there is nothing more that kills me deep inside than not knowing the reason why this shit fell apart. You never told me why this came apart. You never explained to me. We never had a conversation about it. I go work overseas to try to make more bank. You come back to the Philippines so I can make sure that you're around family and shit. All of a sudden, we lose contact, communication. Everything starts to go slower, and every day we not talking, more and more and more. The only time you want to contact me is when you need money or I close the account that was joint between us. Now all of a sudden you want to call me and say you can't access the money. That's the only fucking conversation you have with me after 2 weeks of not talking to me. Come on, man. Tell me what kind of shit that would crush a man. From there, it just had to be a divorce, man. And I'm telling you, my man struggled with the idea of hitting that divorce button. He struggled with it. He struggled with it. Like, he didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? He did not want to do it. But deep down in his heart of hearts, he realized, man, there was no getting around that this shit had to happen. And when you realize something has to happen and there's no clarification, there's no clarification on why it went down or why this is what it is, it hurts. It hurts. Hurts a man to the core, man. So that's kind of where it stands right now. He says he'll never come to Philippines ever again. He'll probably never date Filipinos ever again. But it can't happen anywhere. Eddie, I do agree, man. It can't happen anywhere. I'm not saying this is just the Philippines, but because he was with a Filipina and the situation was dealing with Filipinos in the Philippines, kind of played itself out like that. The guy, he's about 35. Carlito, the guy's 35, still relatively young, so the bounce back is not anything dramatic. I mean, he was relatively young, not like 60 and dating a 20-year-old. It seems like it was a long game, and that shit was horrible, man. That shit hurt my feelings. He said she had a Filipino boyfriend, just used him. That's what it sounds like to me. But they were together. They were married in the United States. I mean, Jesus Christ, they were together for a while, bro. So to have a Filipino boyfriend, well, I guess that's possible, but I don't know. Sending money home, that was always an issue and stuff like that. Eddie says you need the bar in your life for an easy rebound. Got to be careful with those bars, man. We got to stay off of those. Divorce is an American moneymaker. I promise you, man. Those attorneys love to hear divorce going down, man. That shit just, that's just a moneymaker in itself. Always asking for money every couple of weeks or so. Get the fuck out of here, man. My man said, I wouldn't swear him off. I smashed your sister. Well, there was no access to her sister, man. So he couldn't do that. My man Mike John, what's going on with your family? He says, well, I love my girl and I hope we don't go through that. I sincerely hope I don't go through that with mine either. But got to make sure that things go the way that they go. You said, Eddie said, I wouldn't give up on him, but I think he's finally decided that it is over for him. It is over. Considering that he had options to date other girls and stuff like that, but chose her, didn't work out, I think it's over. I feel like he's done with it. Hey, man, I see we got 44, 43 individuals watching at this time. That's a lot of numbers. Appreciate you guys coming through and sharing the time with the good doctor today. But y'all got to make sure you get the likes up on this video, man. I said I'm trying to give you guys some knowledge. I'm trying to share my stories, and I'm in my vulnerable moments and shit. I definitely want you guys to hit that like button for me. Of course, I don't have the IPA shirts listed. Sorry, guys. But if you do want to support the channel, you already know how to do so. But of course, the good doctor is happy that you come through and share just a little bit of moment with him this particular day. Aqua Pina, how you doing? It's been a long time, but I am happy to see you here, man. Tim H, happy belated birthday. The mic. Sorry, I missed you yesterday. Hey, man, Tim H, I thought you were in earlier, bro. I thought I saw your name earlier on the live stream. But if I didn't, man, thank you. I appreciate the belated birthday greetings, guys. It's only 12. When is it, about 1 something now? Yeah, about 1:17 in the AM or some shit like that. Yeah, so it ain't too late. It ain't too late. Good evening over there, Scorpio season. Yes, sir. Scorpio season in full effect. Shout out to all my Scorpios out there. Much love to you guys. I know we all have the same wavelength and mentality, so I'm glad to see you guys in the building. Miss P9 says, happy belated birthday. Thank you. Rona, you say compromise. This is kind of one of those situations where compromise is probably out of the question. Compromise is probably out of the question here because my man says there's no way that he'll date one again. I mean, this girl got to be super fine in order for him to make that call. But I'm telling you right now that it's not happening. There's no compromise here, baby. It is no compromise, and he completely says it's just not for him anymore. I mean, he went about it in a respectful way, but when he talks about it behind closed doors, it's really bad. I mean, it's hard for me to actually talk to him about it sometimes because it's nothing that he really wants to talk about. You know, when you get to that level of that stage in a relationship, things go well for that long and then things fall apart over some bullshit. Yeah, something you really don't want to talk about. Michael Smith said, also, I got the white girls. You and my man David need to hook up, man. He always asking me where the white women at. Fed up? Yeah, man. I said it's like 1:17 or 1:18 in the AM Philippine time right now. Rona, good morning to you. Andy, what's good with your family? Mm, mm. My man Michael Smith says it hurts if she sleeps with me on a Filipino dude. Hell yeah, I think I'd probably be madder if it was a local guy. I'm sorry. I think I'd probably trip over the local guy. But I'm saying though, Rona, yes, cheating is unacceptable. It would hurt either way. True. But I'm saying though, as a man, would it hurt you more to have your Filipino cheat on you with a local guy or with a foreigner? My man Get Lost says, I don't know, honestly, maybe another American because dude is probably more wealthy or something, and we know women are about the dollar bills. Okay. I'm glad that you guys are being honest. So my man say an American, some say Filipino guys. I would definitely hurt either way, but I think honestly, if it was a local guy, I think I'd probably hurt a little bit more. I don't know why. No, I mean, it means no, there's no disrespect in it, but if I honestly had to say, I think I'd probably be more hurt if I was cheated on by my girl by another Filipino dude. My man Black Pablo says I'd be pissed either way. True, but if it was cheated on me with a foreigner, especially American, I would just feel played. Okay, yeah, I'd probably feel played too. Wahoo says long distance relationships can work as long as you have a plan to eventually live together. That is true. I mean, I had to make it work myself, man. That shit was hard as hell. My man Eddie Goodman says local guy because she used me and my money to support her and her man would be pissed me. Yeah, it would piss me off too. If she cheated on me with another American, I would say she just wanted a man with money. So you probably feel less hurt if it's an American, but if it's a local guy, you probably be pissed. Yeah, I kind of feel the same too. My man Eddie Jackson, what's going on, family, man? Appreciate you coming through. He says, so am I done with Filipinas? Nah, man, I'm good. I'll bounce back and I'll be good to go, man. Dr. Mike has never really had any bad experiences like that. Divorce and shit like that, I haven't even gotten that far yet. I'm still currently dating long term, and I'm happy with that. But as far as me personally swearing them off, if this situation happened to me, I probably would. I can almost guarantee you that my mentality, the way that I am, if this happened to me, I'd probably not want to deal with Filipinos for a while. Or there is another option. Instead of swearing them off, I would probably try to run through as many of them as humanly possible and treat them like shit. Treat them how they made me feel, even though it wasn't them that actually made me feel that way. You understand? So that's just kind of what we working with. I kind of, that's just the pettiness in a man. And I know that most men will probably do the exact same thing. Like my man said, he'll sleep with the sister if the sister was available. That's just the pettiness in us. If you screw me over and it ended up bad, I'll tell you right now, what I would honestly do is probably try to run through as many Filipinas as I possibly can to make myself feel better. And that is the wrong way to go about it. But if that would be one option, either I swear them off forever or try to run through as many as possible. I won't be rude or mean to them, but I will just blow some backs out. It'll make myself feel better. I'm telling you, that'll be the only way to make me feel good. But again, man, this guy said it was officially over. He was done with Filipinas. He'll never come back to the Philippines. Can't tell you how that was going to play out, man. Yes, he was very lucky she never had a kid or got pregnant. 5 months alimony, it's over. It's finally over. Yeah, some crazy shit. What's up, Cal? My man said Dr. Mike with the late night edition. Yeah, man, I had to give you this quick one because I had it on my mind. My man's just called me to wish me a happy birthday. Couple of hours ago we were having a conversation and this kind of came up, so I wanted to bring it to the table. Again, no need for names, no need for current relationship statuses and stuff like that. Just wanted to go ahead and give you guys a story to hear exactly how you guys would deal with certain situations that are just like this one. Mm. He had a free ride for 5 years. Okay. Terry says, Dr. Mike, they make you pay child support in the Philippines. Are you asking me, do they, or you're telling me? Because I don't know, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really sure about the whole child support situation in the Philippines. I'm really not big on that. I don't think that you are required to, because if that's the case, those foreigners who left all those kids behind are way behind on child support. Kids like 30, 40 years old, and you ain't paying no child support when you left the country many years ago. I'm not sure how that would play out. Wahoo Do said, I never understood why anyone would want to bring a Filipino back to their country. Everything is in her favor in the Philippines. You are the prize. Very true. But the only reason, honestly, the only reason that you would bring your girl back to the United States is so that you guys can work. Work and build a life together. If I'm ever going to bring my girl back, I promise you that's the reason why. We both have a job. Like, she has a good education. She can get a decent job in the United States and make decent money for us to be able to work together as a cohesive unit. It's not just going to be me and my money only, or her and whatever little money she makes in pesos, however you say it. In the Philippines, it's just going to be, that's just my personal thought process. I mean, if I'm going to bring her back, honestly, it will be for us to be able to work and be able to build that life in the Philippines that we always wanted to. And that's it. I mean, I think that's the reason why most men do. But if you bring your woman back and she doesn't work, that's a no-go. That is horrible. That is a horrible idea. Mm. My man said, I used to want to bring one back, but changed my mind. I know a lot of guys have changed their mind about this particular thing. And I understand, man, having them try to adapt to a new culture and you're the only one that's there for them, sometimes it could work, sometimes it can't. All right. You got to realize that this is yes or no. It's hit or miss. You just have to make sure that you can pray that your woman has her head on straight and focus on what's going on. If it doesn't quite work out that way, who are you to tell? I mean, that's it. Tim H said, my buddy's Filipino wife tried to get alimony and part of his military pension after 2 years, but they allotted nothing. Good for my homeboy. Oh my God, man. Why would she think that she was entitled to that only after being married for 2 years? I think you have to be together for 8 or 10 years before you're able to get a piece of anything. So yeah, she was dumb for trying, but that's somebody in her ear telling her, oh, you should go for his money, see if you can get his pension, and see if you can get alimony. But you don't get no alimony after no 2 years. Any judge that offers you alimony after 2 years is absolutely smoking crack. Eddie, you're right, man. You do need to charge it to the game, and you do need to be smarter the next time. And all relationships make us better men in general. I'm telling you, every relationship that I have been in has made me better over time. It's made me understand exactly what I want from life, what I'm trying to do with my life, and everything that's going to make me a better person. So I don't take offense when things don't go wrong, or when things don't go right for me and things do go wrong. You just have to charge it to the game. Very, very true. And he did. Now, let me tell you, I will be honest with you. My man did make bank off of having his wife, so he didn't completely take an L. He didn't take an L on her all the way through to the end. There was a point when he was getting money for his wife and shit, so he didn't lose out monetarily, but the relationship itself was just shit from the end. Mm. Everybody is all over the place with agreeing never bring Filipinos to the U.S. My man Jaw said, I know a man on O'Shea's show who has those same feelings about Brazilian women. He tried to marry her, but he won't go back to Brazil after a failed relationship. That's just the way it is sometimes, man. Exactly, Tommy. That is exactly what we thought too, man. Thought somebody was in her ear and twisting her up, while she was back at home. That was the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Aquapina says, I feel sorry for those men who have been cheated and lied on by my fellow Filipinos. It sucks. It truly does, but it does happen. It's something that we have to accept as reality. And it's nothing that, how can I say this? I don't know how to say it, but it's just one of those things that if it happens, you don't know how you're going to react until the situation actually happens. Like I said, I can't tell you how I would react if I went through the exact same thing as he did. I probably would be in the same emotional state about never wanting to deal with Filipinas and win. Filipinas again, I'm sorry. Bruiser says, Doctor, maybe she had that in the mind the whole marriage, just waiting for the opportunity to play devil's advocate here. And that's the hard thing about it, bruh. That's what I'm saying though. If that was her long game, Jesus Christ, man. Who has that kind of patience, bruh? I mean, I understand patience, but who has that kind of patience, you know? I don't know, but I guess it is a way of doing your own thing. Uh my man Bias Hacker, what's going on, man? He says go MGTOW. He didn't go MGTOW, but he definitely went his own way to other women, other races of women, I should say. My man Daniel says most peanuts are good. It's the bad ones who give a bad image. Yes, it definitely is the bad ones that give a bad image for those altogether. It sucks, but it's a reality that we have to learn to deal with and accept as real. My man Tim says, I haven't ruled them out completely because as it happened to me, and I'm going to be a lot smarter and wiser and keep your eyes open at all times. What I will say, guys, is we learn from other people's experiences. This is why I do my live shows, because the experiences that men share in the chat is something that we can all learn from. Had it not happened to us yet, this is what we learn from. We learn from the experiences of others. We learn what they did in the beginning, where things could have possibly fucked up for both of us, to where the favor suddenly shifted into her favor. You know, we kind of understand that, and we learned that through the experiences that we share here in the chat. This is why doing what I do is very therapeutic for myself. I enjoy it. It is a happy thing for me, and being able to share in this moment with you guys is probably the best thing that could ever happen to me and also the individuals in the chat, because we learn from this. This is something we learn from, you know, and this is what it is for me. This is education 101. I'm not perfect in everything that I do, but those that have been through it and those that can offer advice, they come through in the chat and they say what's on their mind. You learn from it or you take it how you want to, you know. My man Michael Smith says, I had a crazy story, but she was an American woman born and raised and did not see the signs. And you didn't see the signs, did not pay attention to the red flags. So that's on me. I really put my girl through the test. And you know what? I realized that. And you said something great there, Michael. I appreciate that. Most men, most guys, you got to understand and accept where you may have been at fault. Okay. And that's what most guys will fail to do. It's always the woman's fault. My man didn't say, oh, it was all her fault. He didn't say that. You know, I mean, he admitted that there were certain things that he could have done different. I mean, I think we all do that. I think real men will sit there and analyze the situation, know where things could have been different, you know, to make the situation better. But it kind of fell apart before any of that had a chance to happen, because there was no communication towards the end, you know. It's all good. Bad Filipinas exist everywhere. My man JG, what's going on with your family? I know I'm late as hell. You know, Mike, like 30 minutes behind. There had to be red flags there. He just ignored them. Probably. I mean, there's red flags in every relationship, guys. I mean, I wouldn't say it's ignored, but if here's the thing though. Here's what I think. The red flags didn't come out until after the marriage. You understand? But once you've already committed to a marriage, it's kind of something that you want to see through to the end if you can. I mean, once you commit to marriage, you really don't want to just overturn or get rid of. You know, you feel me? I hope you guys feel where I'm coming from. Once you already committed to marriage and you start seeing some flags and shit, you kind of don't want to just give up on them or just say fuck it, because you're already married now. Divorce and all that shit is too much. My man Anti-Gravity the building. What's going on, family, man? I had a situation with one of my peoples. You know, I had a conversation with a friend earlier today, and what ended up happening was we were conversating, and my man was like, "You still in the Philippines?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." He said, "You still fuck with them girls?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then, you know, he had a story where he just didn't have a good relationship with the Filipina, so he swears them off. He will never come back to the Philippines, and he'll never date a Filipina again. He probably a smash one, but I don't think he'll ever date one. There is good and bad in every country. Very true. My man Malcolm, what's good with your family? Appreciate you coming through and showing some love. John Bryan's in the building. What's going on? My man, Mr. Schwarzwald, what's going on? He said, did he bring her to the U.S.? Yes, sir, he did. And I think that may or may not have been his mistake, because I'm not, you mean, when you bring your woman to the United States, I'm telling you right now, the reason that a man would ever do that, a reason that any man should ever do that, is if that woman is going to work next to you, right beside you, not necessarily beside you, but have a job so that you guys can build up something to bring back to the Philippines. And, you know, I'm not against bringing my girl to the US. I know I hear bad stories, but I'm still not against it, okay? Not quite yet. If shit hits the fan and shit goes downhill, I will completely take the blame, you know. How old was she? She's 30 or 31, and he was like 35. JG, you might bring up a point, man. He says that's probably the fact that she was abroad. Maybe that's. Oh, you said that's not a P9 thing. That's a broad thing. I think you're talking about women in general. I thought you meant that's an abroad thing, like when she was in the United States. My bad. I read that wrong. 11 series, man. What's going on with your family? Appreciate you coming through and showing some love to the good doctor today. I'm glad that you were able to catch me live, man. And you know you're gonna get your shout out. Welcome yourself to the family, my brother. I normally do not go live at this time. I may do this every now and again, a late night show, but no, mostly I'm good for in the evening time, about 8, 9 p.m. in the Eastern Standard. But I'm glad that you were able to come through, show me some love, man. And I'm glad that you are in the building. I hope that you are still with us so that you can hear your specific shout out. John Bryan says lawyering is a ripoff in California. Thank God this wasn't in California, but it was somewhere on the West Coast. My man MD, what's going on, family? He says, I'm late to the party and I have no clue what Dr. Mike is talking about, but I'm done with the Filipino me too. Filipino women too. You've been done with Filipinas? Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much what's happening right here, my brother. He had a situation with a young lady, ended in divorce, ended pretty bad. No alimony, no child support, nothing like that. But his situation could have been worse. But the way that it played out, the emotional toll and all of that shit that it takes on a man during the process of having to spend money for lawyers and shit like that, he decided that he would never, ever, ever date Filipinas again. A lot of people say don't bring them back to the United States. I'm hearing them. I hear you guys, but I mean, you just have to be mindful of your young lady. I get it though. My man MJB says whoever invented marriage was creepy as hell. Like, I love you so much. I'm gonna get this government involved so you can't leave. That is kind of a creepy. I don't know where marriage came from, man, but now it's all of a sudden the thing that most women want. They want a ring and commitment and shit like that. Can't just date long term no more, man. Shit don't work. My man Tim says you can think of it in a religious way, not to doubt your spouse, but be godly smart and not earthly stupid. Turn the stone if curious. Touche. Definitely a way to look at it. Marriage wasn't originally a government thing. Why am I not surprised? Oahu says, I see why the divorce laws are the way it is in the United States, especially if the wife gives up her career to be a housewife to take care of kids. But it sucks when the law is abused. And they abuse the shit out of that law. I'm telling you, man. My man Gabe Gordon, what's going on, man? My man MJB says, right, John Governments. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. I need to run through this real quick. My Jasmine, how you doing? I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate you giving me a happy birthday salute. Dr. Mike is highly appreciative of that. So thank you very much. And it's good to see you here. MD says, I don't think it would make a difference to me. I'd be pissed off either way. Yeah, I'd probably be pissed off too. I'm telling you, like I said, bro, I'm not one to sit there and sugarcoat it. Had I been through the exact same situation, I probably would have the exact same mindset because I put in this time and this effort and shit, and I committed to you when I could have done something else with other chicks and stuff. And then it plays out the way that it does, man. That should have hurt you inside. That should have cut you to the core. I'm not an emotional dude, but I'm telling you, I have no problem sharing when I am not happy. And that would be one of them situations that no man would ever be happy with. You're right, John. You got to check the person out and learn about their family attitude. That's true. I agree. Yeah, that's what I said, man. Get lost. He said, "Fuck the whole squad." Telling you, bro, I'm gonna run through the crew. You think I'm playing? I'm telling you, I'll put my hand on the stack of Bible right now. I'm gonna run through some shit. I'm gonna go on a rampage, and I'm not gonna be rude about it. I'm not gonna be an asshole about it. I'm gonna do it because I have to. If I need to make myself feel better about being fucked over, oh, that's the way I do it, man. And it's rude, it's petty. Call it what you want to, but Dr. Mike is gonna go on a damn rampage when it comes to that shit. I'm telling you, I'm gonna lose it because that's the way I need to make myself feel better. So yeah, I'll probably go through. Yeah, my man Cal, catch the beginning, man. You know how I tell my stories in the beginning of my live streams. Yeah, I told the story, man. It was kind of long too, but the general synopsis of the story was my man just got into a bad relationship, ended up divorcing his wife, who was Filipina. Kind of happened when they did a separate thing. He didn't get no closure. Kind of hurts inside. Jay and Cookie, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through, brother. I've been meaning to reach out to you about the interview, bro, and I'm gonna get at you as soon as I possibly can. My man, do the moms of the sister. Her mom won't that cute, bro. Her sister, she kind of had how can I say this, whorish mentality too. So I don't know. The sister probably wouldn't be worth it either. My man Gabe says, not from my experience or anyone I know. I know you're standing up for divorce laws. Oh, you guys are talking about, hey man, I'm not worried about the divorce laws and shit. They are the way that they are, and that's the way it's going to be. I do believe that they may favor women more than men, but they are the way that they are for a reason to an extent. I don't know what those reasons are, but I feel like having to go through a divorce at all is just fucking it's a hard pill to swallow. That's just my opinion. I'll let you guys talk about that one. Get the prenup. Everybody needs a prenup. Dr. Mike, in your case, your girl probably would make more money than you, but it's a rare situation. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My girl has the potential to make more money than me. I know that already. I know that and she knows that. So it's nothing that's a big surprise to me. Nothing that's gonna make me cry about it or anything. Because I take care of the money. Always have and always will. Mr. Matapid, what's going on? He said, hard to trust people these days. Had a girlfriend, went back to the Philippines supposedly to take care of some personal problems. Did not hear from her for a whole 2 months. No letters, no phone calls, and vanished. There you go, my brother. That's kind of what happened. They go back home and straight up disappear. It's like it's a quick switch. It's a switch that nobody saw coming. You know? John Bryan says that letting her work is a double-edged sword. Her westernization will happen fast because co-workers talk. That's true. Anything could happen. You know what? I understand that, but see, here's the problem. I don't think that you guys give Dr. Mike no credit. Do you believe that I don't have safeguards in place in case shit happens? I hear you guys talk about it all the time, man. Dr. Mike got some safeguards in place. So I'm protecting myself on all fronts. I always have since I started my relationship and to the end of time. Dr. Mike is going to make sure that he takes care of things the way that they need to be taken care of. I understand the concern. A lot of people are like, man, don't bring them to the US. Don't let them work. I get why you say that. But because you say that, I think about things in advance and I think about ways to protect myself. So I'm definitely gonna want to keep myself in a position to always stay ahead. That I will do. So my man said I can't. My man CH19 OTR, bro, you gotta give me a name for your brother. He says make sure you married them in the Philippines so the advantage is yours. I want you to explain for me, brother, why you believe that the advantage would be ours if we married them in the Philippines. I would want to hear why, because I would always think that they would favor Filipinas over the foreigner. But if you have a reason or another way to explain the advantage, please let me know, because I would love to hear what you have to say about that. My man Terry says, Dr. Mike, would you date a Filipina that has a family member living in the United States like a sister, or would you be skeptical of her wanting to use you as a means to get to the United States? I'd probably say she can ask her sister if she wants to go there. Maybe her sister can bring her on. I'll see what she says to that first before I make my decision. I'll let her talk to her sister first and see what she has to say about that. He said my buddy does fake non-binding weddings. Bruh, that's too much work, man. I wouldn't even want it to even be fake. I wouldn't even want to go through the process. My man, Mr. Matapete says, I had a friend too who brought his girlfriend from the Philippines. She vanished in the U.S. after visiting relatives. He ended up marrying a Filipino nurse here in the U.S. already. Now they are happy. See, so there's always a bright side to every situation. Always a bright side. Oh, Mike way behind on the chat, man. I'm fucked up, guys. The little head misses the signs. JG, you're 100% correct. Carlito says sometimes some people may not tell the whole story. We don't know what goes on in a relationship. True. Good and bad. We don't know the relationship from beginning and end because we're not there. I did say that, and you're absolutely right. But we both got to put your girl through the test to see if she's down to ride with you or not. Awahudu says fastest way to succeed is to model someone that is already successful at it. So be like Mike and hang around the colleges to meet some educated. Yes, Be with someone educated if you can, man. You got to be with somebody who can actually do something for you. You know, not just mooch off of you. You have to be with somebody who could do shit for you. Something my man Malcolm says something because some have reserved opinions, then some don't want to do nothing to do with you. Maybe because some guys think they all look for one thing. True that. You know, my man Fed Up said his shit sticks. Well, we ain't trying to smell it, brother, but thank you for sharing. I do remember the Scott Peterson story, John Brown. That was crazy. My man Sean Mack, what's going on with your family? Appreciate you coming through, showing some love to the good doctor today. Back to the commercial break real quick. I see we got 42 individuals watching. Thank you for coming through and showing some love to the good doctor today. Please make sure that you hit the like button on your way in or on your way out. I do not have the IPA shirts listed in the description area below, but if you guys want to support the channel, you already know how to do so. But of course, the good doctor is happy that you come through and share just a little bit of your time with him today. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. Shout out to my people, man. I love you guys to death for being here with your boy. My man said, don't get married. You're probably right. It's probably best for most people not to. If you don't have any reason to get married, just don't do it. Make sure you smash that like button. I would highly appreciate that. The odds of her leaving you in your home country go way up if you're way older than your Filipina. Agreed. Agreed. That's actually really agreed. And ironically, the relationship that I previously talked about, they were only maybe 4 or 5 years apart. So that wasn't really a relationship that was older foreigner, younger Filipina. But the only way they did separate was when she actually went back home. That's the thing. She didn't do it when she was there. She did it when she was back home. My man Eddie Jackson says right now, he said, but love creates emotional blind spots. Yeah, you might be aware until you fall in love that you miss all the cues and signs. True. We do choose to ignore signs. Mr. Matapit says you cannot see what is inside the head of a person. Always, you never know. Take precautions probably is the best advice. If they try to cheat you, then you can cut it loose pronto. Very, very true. Gotta test them like a midterm exam, baby. Gotta test them. Oh, I know y'all making this a chat box. Y'all having a straight up conversation with one another, and I'm good to go, man. Y'all just talk it out. I'll read the comments that are directly related towards the topic so that people who are just listening can hear me talk. And if you guys want to watch the playback or the replay of this particular live stream, make sure you turn on the live chat so you can keep up with where I am talking to my people and let these people have a conversation with themselves. Oh, MD said he's not done with Filipinas. I'm sorry. I probably misread. He says, I'm in the process of bringing my fiance here. I guess it's worth it to take the risk. Yep. Hey, man, I feel like it's worth it to take a risk too, man. I do. You just got to tread lightly. I do agree. My man Tim A says, Dr. Mike, I have a friend who owned 4 enterprise rental cars for enterprise sales owned to chiropractor offices and lost 30 million in a divided. Oh, fuck no. 30 mil? I'd kill a. I'm sorry, man. Part of my language, I'd have to kill a bitch. I'm sorry. There is no way I'm giving up 30 mil. If that's real, bro, I am so sorry for your mans and them. I'd have to just call it, man. I can't do it. That's crazy. John Bryan says, Dr. Mike, what are the opinions of people in Davao of Filipinas that live in other parts of Mindanao? They really don't have anything against them because if you want to know the truth, many of the people that actually live in Davao City are from other areas outside of Davao. Like my girl, she lives in Davao City now, but she's from Surigao del Sur. A couple of my classmates, they were from Panabo, they were from Tagum and other outside areas. I know people from Sultan, Coldorat. I know a couple of classmates from North and South Cotabato. Had one from Zamboanga. She was a very close friend of mine, and she told me even if I took you with me to Zamboanga, I still wouldn't feel safe for you. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. You know, so I know friends that have moved to Davao City, but most of them that are in Davao, born and bred in Davao, they don't really have an opinion because they've never been outside of Davao. But from those that are from those areas that may have kind of sort of conflicts like Maguindanao, like that area, they are in Davao City and they'll tell you the truth about their place because they're able to speak freely about it. My man Sentai 7, what's going on, man? You did walk into some bullshit today, man. Sentai 7, you crazy, man. You still dodging that bullet, man. I hope you can dance around it for a couple of more years, brother, for your sake. All right, but it's only a matter of time since I 7. It's only a matter of time, man. I think me and you are in the same boat. We put in some years with our young ladies, and eventually, I know the question's gonna come. Eventually, I know something's gonna have to give one way or another. But either way, we'll see what we do, and we'll make it happen the way we make it happen. Filipinas in general are conservative, and Davao, yes, they very much are. John Brad, hey MD, there's nothing wrong with being engaged. Engagement is just me calling you my fiance and you calling me your fiance. That ain't marriage quite yet. Since I 7, we on the same boat with that one, man. John Brown says, Dr. Mike, what percentage of your classmates were Muslim? In my class, if there were 20 students, 5 of them were at least Muslim. So I want to say 1/5 of my classmates were Muslim. Fed up got a wrench. Yeah, I gave it to him. I'm trying to catch up with the chat, guys. I know I'm late as fuck, man. Government is stupid and greedy, bottom line. I feel you, Malcolm. My man MD says, I haven't heard from your girlfriend for 2 months. It's just time to get a new one. Oh, if you haven't heard from your girlfriend in 2 months, kind of time to get a new one. I agree. Oh man, I always have safeguards to Wahoo, dude. There are certain things that I know I need to do and certain things I need to take care of to make sure that I am in the right place, the right space, and the right frame of mind to make sure I don't make the mistakes that I have seen others make. And of course, like I said, man, I'm trying to make sure I stay ahead of the game. I made a video that told guys you should always have a plan A, B, C, and D. If you don't have A, B, C, and D, you better have E, F, and G. H, I, J. I'm telling you, you better plan so far ahead that there is just no way you're going to let something happen to you. And if something does happen, fuck it. It just slipped through the cracks, man. You ain't going to always get yourself on everything, but you got to try your best to make sure you cover yourself and protect yourself from everything. It's a little bit more than prenups, guys. That's a start. That's a start, but it's a little bit more than prenups. I've put in some safeguards in my own life that have put me in a situation that has made me comfortable with what I'm doing right now and who I'm with right now. Trent Knight, what's going on, family? Appreciate you coming through and showing some love, man. I know you were with me last night briefly, but I'm glad you were able to make it back with this late night show. Best way to have no problems is stay a virgin. Ah, shit. Y'all tripping. Since I 7 says I just drink a beer and it's all good. You just stop caring about the negative. I go out on my boat, meet subs, and have them rum on board. Touche, my brother. Touche. Whatever makes you happy, man. You gotta do it. Gotta do it. My man Agnostics Adams in the building. What's going on with your family? Appreciate you coming through and showing some love, family. You gotta give me a chuckle before you leave, man. He gave it to me. I got you, family. Appreciate you coming through. I'm just reading comments, guys. I gotta read comments like a month. God, I'm so busy. Okay. My man AJ, what's going on, family? Appreciate you coming through and showing some love. My man said Filipinas all the way, the most humble and sexy a man can get. Touche. And I do agree, man. You got a good one, man. Make sure you hold on to it. Do your thing, man. All right. Y'all just make sure you get the likes up for the good doctor, man. I would highly appreciate that. That's all I need. Likes are free, baby. Likes are free. Well, my man Daniel, you do bring up a point. He says Davao in the Philippines is generally not as safe as many think. The Filipino government always downplays the threats. I can send you as much proof if you want. Yeah, I mean, you have to be on your P's and Q's, man. I will say that. All right, Miss P, and I appreciate you coming through and showing some love. John Brown says, Dr. Mike, do you hear Filipinos wanting to work in Brunei and Singapore from Davao? Singapore, yes. I haven't heard about Brunei yet. Not too many people talking about it. Those places are closer than the Middle East. Singapore, most definitely. Malaysia, most definitely. A lot of them go to UAE. They're able to find work in UAE. But As far as Brunei, I haven't heard too many of them going yet. Not yet. There is no prenup on the K1 visa. Well, there you go, AJ, man. Thank you for letting that one go. Sentai 7, if everything hits the fan, the boat is mine, bitch. Yeah, go ahead, man. As long as you got your lovely boat, lovely boat in your business, man, that's all that you could ever care for. Everything else can go. But like I said, man, that's only after you get married. Right now, it's all yours, and that's the way it needs to stay. In the Philippines, you wear your ATM cap. I gotta love it. I wonder how many people try to come through and make some withdrawals. I'd wear the Duterte hat. I'd wear it in Manila. I'd wear it in any part of Davao, and I'll be just fine. What's going on, Paul Young? Appreciate you coming through and showing some love. Oh shit! I actually made it through to the bottom. Yep, you heard what Sentai 7, guys. Got to make sure you smash that like button, whether you're on your way in or out. I would highly appreciate that, no doubt. If you can caress it and make love to the like button, I would highly appreciate that. All right. You guys are great, man. Appreciate you coming through and showing support to the channel. That's all I could ever ask from my people. And with that being said, it's early as hell in the morning. I think we're looking at almost 2 o'clock. It's about 1:53 in the a.m. I need to go ahead and retire. It's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. So if you need to get everything off your chest, any final thoughts, any things you want to say, by all means, please leave it in the chat and we'll definitely get to it later on. He's gonna be in Japan on the 3rd and NIA on the 5th, man. Shout out to my man AJ making his way back to the Philippines for the first time with his wife and everything. So yes, sir. Yo, you gotta enjoy your time there, brother. Even if you're not there for Christmas, man, enjoy your time, man. Yes, John Bryan. Almost every university in the Philippines has nursing, and my university had nursing. Matter of fact, my undergrad, where I went to school at San Pedro College, they had the best nursing program in Davao City. So yeah, the best medical program too. I think physical therapy, pharmacy, stuff like that. They had that as well. My man Trent says, Dr. Mike, just asking, how is a foreigner trying to holler at a Muslim woman? Would they give a foreigner at any time? Unless you're Muslim yourself, my brother, I'll tell you right now, do not do it. The Muslim women are very, very serious about their shit. They're very, very serious about their religion, you know, and the men that are part of the culture scare the hell out of me. So I stay as far away from them as humanly possible. Just saying, that's just my personal opinion. But if you're Muslim, man, do your thing, man. Terrence Brown says it seems that it's hard here in the U.S. for penals to find work, even if they apply for a visa. Really? I've known quite a few that have gotten work relatively easy. Maybe it does depend on the area though as well. So that could possibly be a reason too. Sentai 7, man, drink a shot of Captain Morgan's on me, man. Elijah Robinson says, yo, Mike, just woke up and I work night shift, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. You can always catch this one on the playback, bro. We good, man. Everybody seems to be making friends in the chat. I'm glad everybody's in the building. I'm glad you guys were able to make it. I'm going to run through and shout out my people one more time before I leave. With that being said, MD, appreciate you. Lionel, I see you in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through and showing some love. Sentai 7, of course. Akoi P9, Mr. JG himself. Daniel, I see you, man. My man Malcolm was in the building. Elijah, appreciate you. Terrence Brown, appreciate you. Trent Knight, as always. John Bryan, my man AJ, Miss Akoi P9. Pleasure to see you in the building with me. I'm glad that you're here. Who else we got? Fed Up, always a pleasure. My brother Paul Young, I see you, family. Thank you for coming through and showing and sharing yourself with the good doctor today. If you guys have anything you want to say, leave it down at the bottom while I'm scrolling up and shouting out my people so that you can get your shout out, whatever you need to get off your chest. All right. Agnostics Adams, as always, brother. Thank you for the chuckle, man. Appreciate you coming through and showing love to the good doctor today. Who else we got, guys? I'm gonna shout you all out because I feel like it. Wahoo, dude, always a pleasure, my brother. I love what you bring to the channel. My man Elijah, I appreciate you, brother. I gotta scroll back up, man. I thank you guys for coming here and being part of the family, man. This shit has been fun for me. I might have to wait to see you guys at a later date, but let me run through and show love to everybody who's come through. Elijah, I see you, my brother. Thank you for that. Damn, a lot of people are repetitious right now. Eddie Jackson, man, if this was your first time conversating in the chat with us today, salute to you, my brother. Thank you for welcoming yourself to the channel, and thank you for participating in the chat. That's what I want. I want you guys to be interactive with what we got going on over here. All right, I want you to be a part of the family the real way. Tim H, thank you for coming through and showing love, man. And I am so sorry about your friend who lost 30 mil. I would probably kill somebody over that. I promise you that. That's some kill a motherfucker over some money type shit. Mr. Matipid, thank you very much for coming through and showing some love, man. Thank you for being part of the channel. My man, CH19OTR, don't know how I pronounce that, but I'm shouting you out. Thank you, my brother, for coming through and showing some love, man. Don't get married. That is his philosophy in life. I can fuck with you on that one. Sean Mack, appreciate you coming through and welcoming yourself to the family. Carlito Santiago, my boy, man, representing the DR. Thank you for coming through and showing some love, family. All right, thank you for. I thank all of you guys for being here. Terry Edwards, my brother from another man. Thank you for coming through and showing support to the channel. Who else we got? Jay and Cookie, always a pleasure. Gabe Gordon, thank you, my brother, for coming through and showing some love. Cal Winston, appreciate you, my man. Get Lost Vlogs, you know me, man. If somebody try to play me, I'm going through the crew and everybody involved, man. It's gonna be a massacre. I'm playing. Jasmine Dev, thank you for being here. Appreciate you coming through and showing some love to the good doctor today. He is highly appreciative of that one. My man, Mr. Schwarzwald, thank you, my brother, for coming through and sharing in your opinion. I appreciate you and everything that you bring to the channel. You say don't bring them back to the United States, and I do recommend that probably for the majority of men. I would definitely say that. 11 series, man. Appreciate you coming through and showing some love to the channel. Who else we got? We got if I miss you guys, make sure I shout you out. All right. I mean, Anti-Gravity was here for a minute, man. I'm good, brother. It wasn't me. I was just getting you guys in the chat so you can hear the story. Michael Smith, appreciate you, Rona. Always a pleasure. My man, Bruiser. Mr. Bias Hacker, telling everybody to go MGTOW. My man, Tommy, representing the good old great state of North Carolina. Appreciate you coming through and being part of the family. Jaws 2003, thank you, my brother, for being here with us. Eddie Goodman, as always, repping that AC. Black Pablo, I see you, family. Rona, if I didn't get you, I'm getting you now. My man, Andy, always a pleasure. Down since day one. Appreciate you sitting there when I was watching, making my videos in my in my room and shit. Mike, what's going on? Everybody, I'm good. All right, Rahi, thank you for coming through, brother. As always, I'm good, guys. I think that I've touched everybody in the most inappropriate way humanly possible, and I am good to go. Thank you for coming through and being a part of the family. Give me 2 seconds. All right, guys, I scrolled down to the bottom, man. I'm sorry. Elijah, appreciate you, my brother. Honestly, I've never been to Jollibee before. You should go to Jollibee. Eat that burger that tastes like not meat. All right. Hey, man, we appreciate what you guys bring to the channel. Everybody have a good day. Thank you guys for the belated birthday greetings. Dr. Mike is highly appreciative of that. Getting old, but every day I get old, I get more wiser, I get more knowledge. And the more knowledge I obtain while I'm living my life here in the Philippines, I will bring it to the channel so we can have what we do. My man Lionel Sanders, you say, how do I make donations? You see that button in the corner with the $sign on it? You can click that, and there's a super chat button if you want to do that. Or also, so if you look in the description area below, there's a PayPal link that I keep there. If you want to do a PayPal donation instead, that's perfectly fine. But I definitely that's the best way to do it. You click that $sign there in the corner, and that's a super chat button, or there's a whatchamajigam. There's a what do you call it? There's a PayPal link in the description area below. I think that I've touched everybody in the most inappropriate way humanly possible. You know, when I reach out, I gotta touch somebody. AJ says my wife is doing fine, just over here. No worries, just pick. Right. Peace out, doc. All right. I am. Thank you, Malcolm. We're here to make Philippine blogging great again, aka make Davao great again. And Dr. Mike is on a mission to make that come to reality. All right, guys. Yep, me and Blasian P9, we definitely have the same birthday. I was over there earlier. Yeah, she said that she was going to go try to get her driver's license as well. All right. If there's anything else that you guys need to say, I'm gonna give you a moment to say it. If you guys got anything else you want to get off your chest, by all means, I'm gonna listen to it. I just wanted to make sure that make sure everybody got their shout out. Did everybody get their shout out? Did everybody get their shout out? I'm gonna give it a minute because I want to make sure, this is the belated birthday live stream. So I want to make sure that everybody's been dealt with. All right, I'll give you guys a chance to get your mind right before I officially close out. But again, I have to share my thank yous. I sincerely do. I shouted out everybody. I wanted to make sure that I say thank you. I want to thank every single last one of you guys for the birthday greetings. This shit has made my day. Again, my channel would be nothing without the people who watch me. My channel would be nothing without the people who support me. My channel would be nothing without the people who come through and listen to me rant and rave in my live streams. And the reason that this shit is worth it for me is because I can come through and say what I want to when you guys are actually willing to listen to me talk my shit. This is very rare. This is very rare for me. It's good. I'm glad that people come through and listen to me rant and rave. I'm glad that people come through in the chats. I'm glad that people come through and, speak their mind and say what's on their mind. And if you haven't noticed, I read 9 out of 10 chats that are left in the chat box. If I skip it, I apologize, but I try to make sure that I give everybody a chance to speak their mind. You guys have a voice on this channel. Everybody has a voice. Unless you're trolling, then I don't really give you a voice. But most of the time, I never had that issue. The only time I have that issue is if you have a problem with somebody else in the chat. But we good, man. This is a family atmosphere, man, and we definitely argue, fuss, and fight like anybody else. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's all love, and I sincerely hope that everybody is having a blessed day. This has been the best birthday I've had in a long time, guys. Being able to spend time with my people, coming through, sharing the live streams, which you guys giving you 2 live streams today. It was worth it to me. All right. And there is nothing that I would ever do to replace that. Corey, man, I appreciate you coming through, man. You guys are great. Since I said this, can you give me a reach around before I go? I'm sorry, man. I can't do that. I can touch you inappropriately so that I could get reported, but I can't do reach arounds, man. I don't know if I'm ready for all of that. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys coming through and just clowning and having fun, man. That's what this channel is all about. You gave your girl the fish eye last night, JJ. You crazy. Dr. Mike is here to make Philippine vlogging great again. I'm here to make the whole shit great again. And I hope that everybody is along for the ride because it's only going to get better from here. All right. The birthday is officially over. It's the next morning already here in the Philippines. But thank you. Maraming salamat sa lahat to everybody who comes through and enjoys the channel. Okay. My man Tim H, always a pleasure. Eyes on. I see you, whether you're on your way in or on your way out. By all means, brother, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for the birthday greetings. No, hell no, we don't do no tromboning over here. I'm good. I can't do that. I can't do that. Ah, shit. Again, I'll touch you in the most appropriate way humanly possible. Guys, make sure you get the likes up on the video on your way in or on your way out. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. With that being said, you know how the good doctor does. Dr. Mike is officially out. Ali Snuckle. Paalam, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Mga kita mabuhay. Deuces.